We need to be open to changing our minds and
Yes.
realizing that we
Yeah.
got something wrong. Mm.
Yeah.
And that it's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, so long as you learn from it.
Yeah, that's right. And
Mm.
so long as you can admit it, because I think there was,
Yes.
yeah, we did something a while back and sort of said, well, I could be wrong, and I could be wrong too. So it's nice to
Mm.
know that we're more flexible in our thinking, so that we can learn more. Because
Mm.
if you're not flexible, you're not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
Mm. So
And and to admit, like you said, to admit that you've done wrong,
yeah,
it's like I didn't realize how hard that was for people actually, because for whatever reason, I don't know whether maybe it was the way I was raised or something, but yeah, I don't know why, but as an adult, I generally have found it fairly easy to say, "Oh my goodness, sorry, I made a mistake. I did it wrong. Like,
yeah,
what do we do to fix it?"
yeah,
And I didn't realize that that's not necessarily what a lot of people do, especially in the workplace and whatnot. Because
yeah.
my thing is, if I've made a mistake, well, I just want to admit to that. I want to get it
Mm.
fixed so that we can go on and, do something better.
Yes, yeah. Let's move
Yeah.
forward and keep it moving
Yeah.
forward. I
Yeah.
think a lot of it's upbringing because generationally, a lot of people haven't taken personal responsibility. And it isn't easy, and
Mm.
it certainly isn't comfortable when you're first learning. But crumbs later
No.
on, I remember making a mistake, and it was with the lads laser airborne depth sounder thing. And one of the bosses, Chris Abel, he had a company called Vision Systems, absolute genius, genius man. And I was there just to sort of scribe things on a whiteboard and something else. And yeah, and I also handled things called engineering change proposals for the Commonwealth government. So it was pretty deep. Anyway, he got mad at me about something and I hadn't done it quite right. And he stood in a passageway really close to me and bawled me out. But that's how bosses worked many years ago. I know it's not right.
Mm.
But the thing
Mm.
is, I just stood there and said, fine, I'll fix it. And he went, oh, good, and walked away.
Mm.
After that, I
Well,
got a lot more
yeah.
respect too because I said, that's fine, I'll fix it. And I did.
Well, and that actually partly answers the question as to why we don't want to admit we're wrong, isn't it? Because if you go to your boss and say, I made a mistake, and then they yell at you, well,
Yeah.
there was no good reason to go and tell them
Yeah.
that you did something wrong, is there?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I suppose it's not just us needs to learn to be able to admit when we make mistakes, but those who are in oversight of us need to also recognize that mistakes happen in the workplace
Yeah.
and that, okay, so where do we go from here? How do
Yeah.
we fix this? Yeah.
Mm.
What do we need to do to move forward? Yeah.
Worked till 4 o'clock the next morning at the office.
Yeah.
Fix
Well,
it,
that's
but
a
it
bit
fixed it.
unfortunate.
Do you know what I mean? I like,
Mm,
yeah, just having the respect. He wouldn't have come across as respectful,
mm,
but I certainly got respect from him after that because I took a hold of what had gone wrong and I did sort it out.
mm, mm,
So yeah, I think the other thing that we're not teaching young people is if you've got a problem, come to me, but come to me with potential solutions. And I find
mm,
this with adults a lot, especially around here. Older men,
mm,
particularly, don't like, yeah, they come with something and it's like, well, okay, what's the solution? Oh, but
mm,
that's why I'm coming to you. No, if you can see the problem, if you come with solutions, we're quicker to finding that right solution and moving forward
mm,
again.
mm,
But they haven't even learnt that skill. And they
mm,
will, and in one case, one lied about a situation. And it's like, well, for starters, when I asked you the question, you told me something different. Now you've told me this. You want me to believe this. But the reality is, I know that the first answer was correct because it came straight off you. So, and I feel like
mm,
lie to me, but you know,
mm.
then you walk away knowing what you're dealing with, though, don't you? So
Yes.
you know you're dealing with someone who will blame someone else, won't take responsibility, and yeah, doesn't
Mm,
deserve the position they hold.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. Yeah,
Mm.
well, it is unfortunate if those people are your boss. They're
Yeah.
not easy to work for. My
Mm.
recommendation would be do everything you can to be a good worker and be looking for something better in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, if your boss is an
Yeah.
asshole, it's okay to
Yeah.
leave. But yeah. I mean,
Mm,
yeah, that old boss, yeah, he wouldn't have employees now. But the other thing I learnt when I was there was from someone in the Air Force, and somebody else made a mistake, and he pulled me into it because I needed to learn the skill. So it was a different department and I was learning new stuff. And he said, that person got it wrong because I didn't do my job properly. I'm the person
mm,
teaching them. It is therefore my responsibility that they made a mistake. And
mm,
I'd
mm.
never seen that before.